You do not need a perfect Etsy shop to start making sales. If you are a beginner, there are just a few things that you need to sort out before you can start making sales. And this video / podcast, depending on where you are consuming this, is going to walk you through everything you need to know. Basically, you want to just stop faffing around and just get your business going. The first point I want to make here is that branding matters eventually, but your logo is not going to make someone buy a wonky listing, okay? Honestly, if you haven't gone and watched my previous episode / previous video, it's episode 116, and I'm basically walking you through why your Etsy listings are not selling yet. If you haven't gone and listened / watched that, you need to go and do that straight after this one. But what really matters here at this stage is focus, because I know that so many of us get really excited and we end up going, oh, I can do my branding, and ooh, I can sort this out, and ooh, my packaging, and ooh, this. But the reality is that I would rather you only make 3 products and you can explain them clearly, you can photograph them clearly, you know what your SEO is, you know your target market for that product, and you can list those well. Don't worry about getting your branding perfect straight off the bat. I would so much rather you have, like I say, a small amount of products that you know, you love, they're tested, they are trusted, and things that you can actually list the right way. Point number 2 is getting your shop basics set up done quickly, okay? What I see a lot is beginners will get so paralyzed in fear that they will try to get everything perfect so that they can launch with this imaginary clean slate. Now, whilst I'm not telling you to like rush it through and make it like real half-hearted and a bit crappy, if I'm being honest, what I don't want you guys to do is to perfectionize your way, if that's even a word, through this to the point where you are too scared to launch, because you're too scared that someone's going to look at it and go, oh, your branding's this and your photos are this and your SEO is that. Like, first of all, no one's going to really be doing that. Second of all, the only way you are actually going to know and you're actually going to learn and you're actually going to develop your business and grow your business is by doing, not thinking, okay? So what do I mean by this? I mean that get your shop basics set up, get them done, get them dusted, knowing that they're not going to be perfect. Like if they are 80% of the way to being like a 10 out of 10, that's done enough. So if everything's like an 8 out of 10, then that's great. But the only way for you to develop, like I say, and learn and grow is for you to launch, get feedback and get data as you go. So basically, what I want you to think about, your mantra, if you are a beginner, is good enough to open, all right? So we're talking things like your shop name. You can change that. Your shop banner, you can change that as well. Your profile photo, you guessed it, you can change that. Your policies, your payment details, just get everything done to 80% of the way to a 10 out of 10, and that is done enough for you to launch. Point 3 here is that your listings actually need the most attention from you. Those first listings are honestly where the real selling work happens. We're talking photos, titles, descriptions, and tags matter in your individual listings for your individual products a lot more than making your entire shop look pretty. If I had to give you a kind of order, I would start with making your photos clear. I don't want to see wooden backgrounds. I don't want to see like 10 different props. I don't want to see like this dark photo that looks very moody and looks very arty, but that is not really going to attract someone when they are scrolling through an endless sea of search results. What I do want to see is something that's very clear. Something that shows the relative size, relative color, something that is very clear, very bright, and something that, you know, is not overexposed, but it's very obvious what it is. Start there, and then you can develop your photography style as you grow. Like this whole Etsy shop game, this whole handmade business game, really, it's not something that you set up, you put away, and you just keep getting sales. Like I know TikTok and Instagram and influencers have probably kind of made it sound like it is, but it's always going to be a thing, a living, breathing, real business that you are going to have to grow and adapt with, but based on the data that you get from these first listings. So for your first listings, like I said, photos. The next thing is your tags. This is your SEO bit. This is your search engine optimization bit, okay? Now, I do not want you to take Etsy's AI titles and go, yeah, that'll do. Like, no, you actually want to be researching this yourself, because AI, especially for writing your Etsy listings, does not work. Trust me on this. AI does not work for writing your Etsy listings. I don't care if it's your titles, description, do not use it. Reason being, AI is a regurgitation machine pretty well. So you're going to essentially end up sounding like everybody else out there. Which, to be honest with you, if you are wanting to be a copycat business, it's never going to work. Okay, so I think I've driven that point home. Photos are most important, then your tags next. Don't worry about anything else yet. Just get those two things right. Point number 4, like I said at the beginning of this, is you want to be improving after you publish. Listen, I don't care how much research you do, how much planning you do, how much procrastination you do, or procrastiplanning as I like to call it. You are not going to know. Like, I'm sorry, you are not going to know until you launch those first listings. And it might be the case that you launch those first listings and it takes 6 months for you to get a sale, which, by the way, that's completely normal. You know, don't be saying, Steph, it's been 3 weeks, why have I not got a sale? That is honestly completely normal. So don't feel bad about that. It's purely just Etsy looking at what you've given it, you know, your titles, tags, descriptions, photos, and learning and showing it to the right people. So please don't think it's an abnormal thing. But the only way you are going to know what to improve is to get those things, those products, those listings published, okay, so that people can actually look at them and start giving you feedback. So if you're looking for the next practical step, this is it. Let me just move it into the frame a little wee bit more. This is the 72-page guide, and it's literally titled Why Your Etsy Listings Are Not Selling and What to Do About It. 72 pages. It is completely free. You can grab your copy of that below. Get it while it's still free. So the next step after opening your shop is understanding Etsy SEO without guessing keywords and all of that and hoping for some kind of magic. So if you are watching the video version of this, I will put the thumbnail on screen now of the next video you need to go and watch. It's titled Etsy SEO for Beginners Without the Algorithm Panic. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, go to episode 107. That is your next step after this, because we want you to understand what SEO is and everything that you need to do. So go and watch that next video, listen to that next podcast, and I will see you there.